Hey guys, Akimbo Chris, back at it again, bringing you guys what you all been asking for. Another Amazon budget build video. It's not quite like the tactical haul, but we did take another gun, we got a new gun, and we kind of built it out using primarily parts from Amazon. Alright guys, so going over the build today, our budget build. This is the Citadel LevTac 92. And essentially this is a Rossi 92. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they literally come from the same factory, but Citadel is a different importer. It is a tactical model at a lower price than what the Rossi 92 actually sells for. I'm really excited about this one, guys. I wanted a lever action for quite some time, and I finally got one, and I got it set up kind of the way I wanted to, and I felt like this would be a great opportunity to do another Amazon budget build to show you guys some good options if you're on a budget and you need some options that you can put on your firearms at home that will actually work. So the whole purpose of the series, guys, is to test this more budget equipment and gear that's on Amazon or different sites like that, so you guys know whether it's worth your cold hard-earned cash. In my opinion, I think that the budget market is definitely in a much better place than it was a few years ago, because the technology has just came such a long way. Back in the day, if you bought optics under $150, they weren't worth anything. Now you can get rifle optics that are zeroable and you know, that work and are rugged for your guns for less than $100. You know, I just want to go over some of the options I picked today. I do try to pick quality options for these videos, so it's something that we're not going to take out to the range and it's going to break in 3 or 4 rounds, because I'm guessing that's what most of you guys are looking for. If you're like me and you're on a budget, maybe you have 1 or 2 really high-end guns in your collection that you throw all your money into, and you have a whole bunch of other guns that you can't afford to throw the same money into, here's a cheaper way to set them up. If you guys have any recommendations going forward for any equipment that I have not reviewed or that you would want me to review, please let me know. We'll buy it, we'll review it on the channel, but let me know in the comments below. All this stuff can be found in the pinned comment in the comments below, so if you're interested in any of it, please go check that out. Just getting into the build here, this is obviously a lever action, and we'll go over more about the gun when we actually get out to the range, because we're actually going to do a first impressions on this gun. I just got it, that's why we set it up. But as far as the build goes, how I have the Citadel set up here is we do have a optic, a red dot from Amazon. This is the Cyelee Chameleon SRS-8, and this thing is essentially a SRO clone. Now these run on Amazon for about $200, and from what I can tell so far, it seems like a very high quality optic. I've used Cyelee many times before, not this particular optic, and my experience has been very, very positive. I mean, you can beat the crap out of these things, you can throw them in the water, and they seem to work. So for like range toys, things like that, or maybe even like a home defense gun, these are probably really good budget options. I mean, they really do work. They have your shake awake feature, and you know, they have really good emitters in them. They're really clear and really bright. I got this dot because I wanted a micro dot for this gun. I'm gonna do a lot of kind of drills and things with this gun as I do with my other guns, so I want something for close range. Probably not going to do much more than shoot this at the range, but I wanted something with a big window on it, and this thing does have a very big window on it, so this could be an optic that you use for competition shooting or anything like that. The dot on it is a 8 MOA dot, so you have a very big dot here, and I picked that for a reason. I want, whenever I pull this gun up, to be able to find that dot very quickly. And in my opinion, for quick target acquisition, usually going for the bigger MOA dot is a little bit easier to find it and a little bit easier to put it center mass on whatever you're aiming at. So far, the dot looks really good. Here's the box for it, you know, your Cyelee box. And with this one, they actually send you like a patch you can stick on your plate carrier or whatnot. It's pretty cool, but fully submersible, water resistant, you know, shake awake features, up to, you know, 50,000 hours of battery life. So I mean, you're basically getting everything you would get out of a premium optic 6-7 years ago. So that's pretty crazy for 200 bucks. Now, we do have that on a riser. So we have that on a Monstrum riser, but this is a Monstrum RMR / SRO footprint riser, and it looks really good. It raises the optic about as much as I want it to, where as soon as I pull it up, it meets my eye. And it has the QD latch on it, and that's huge. I do like the QD latch feature, because if you're using something like this where I have a dot on it let's say my dot fails and this is your survival rifle, or you still need to aim it or use it for whatever reason, your dot fails, you pull that latch, you pull off the optic, and you can use your iron sights once again. Plus it just makes it a lot easier to move the optic around. So I got this mount for I think somewhere around 20 or 25 bucks. And it looks good. It came with a whole bunch of screws for different optic sizes, and it even worked with the Cyelee SRO clone here, which is very, very thick, as you can tell. We do have a side saddle for 357 Magnum. I think I paid maybe, I'm trying to remember, maybe 20 bucks or something, 20, 30 bucks for this. It came with 2 of them though, and they do hold 357 and 38 special. This is basically just 3D printed M-LOK selection. Nothing too crazy to talk about here. I just wanted one of these because if you have a lever gun, you're going to be limited on capacity. They hold about 6-7 rounds, so you always want to have some spare ammo, probably no matter what you're doing with this gun. Moving on to the flashlight here, you guys probably recognize this if you're a fan of the Amazon videos, but we have another SOTAC M300 Surefire clone, and this one is mounted on that M-LOK Haley strategic mount. I bought this, as you guys know, I bought one for my AR. It's been working. I think I have 2 of them. That one of them I've had for 2 or 3 years. So these work really well for what they are. They're durable. You can exchange them with all the Surefire parts. They're bright. They're very bright. I think they're around 900 or 1,000 lumens or something like that. The battery life's pretty good on them. I mean, I don't really have many complaints with this light, especially not at like $35. Like, you cannot beat that. And no, for you guys out there, I'm not buying this to make it look like I have a Surefire. I think the biggest selling point for these Surefire clone lights is the fact that you can change out the heads and the tail caps with Surefire parts, which is some of the most common flashlight parts out there. You go to any gun store, you'll pretty much be able to find Surefire heads and pressure pads. So that exchangeability of parts is really what makes these valuable at like $35. So if you don't have one of these, I guarantee you, test it out and test it next to some of your Surefire lights. It's not going to be the exact same, but they're really hard to beat for the money. Last but not least here, we do have the hand stop, and I actually did not get this from Amazon, but you can find things very similar on Amazon. If you look hard enough, they are there, but you can pretty much get any hand stop for 20 or 30 bucks. So overall, guys, this whole entire build here, including the rifle, pretty much cost me under $1,000, which is absolutely insane for a tactical lever gun. But like I said, I picked what I put on them wisely. This is a range gun. I just kind of want to make it look cool, set it up in case I ever will need it for anything. Maybe I could hunt with this gun. You can do a lot of things with lever actions, but under $1,000 is pretty crazy. The gun's going to cost you somewhere around $700 to $750, and with all my attachments here, optic, mount, side saddle, flashlight, you're looking at under 300 bucks. So $1,000 total for something that is very usable for multiple applications. So we're gonna go out to the range, we're gonna give our first impressions, we're gonna run the build through its course here on the range, and kind of just talk about it and do a review on the gun. So let's go ahead and get out of the range, let's get to shooting. Dude, this thing's so cool. I mean, I've wanted a lever action for so long, and I feel like this is kind of like a, I mean, I wouldn't say this is like my final destination dream build, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, I really like this thing. It makes me feel like a fucking Tusken Raider, man. Mm-hmm. Like, guys, the lever action is a proven platform. The Tusken Raiders defended a planet against the imperialist army, all right, the Empire, with lever guns. So these are actually a battle-proven design. So if you want to be a space cowboy, you need to go pick you up a lever action. All right, guys, so the Citadel LevTac 92. This is essentially, like I said, a Rossi 92. I'm almost positive that they come out of the same factory and they're just imported by a different company, a parent company. But this is a Rossi 92 essentially, takes all Rossi 92 parts, manufactured pretty much the exact same way, but it is imported and sold by Citadel. Now these are really cool because of the price point. You can get these for around $700 to $750 comparative to like what the Rossi 92 would go for a lot of times, right around $1,000. So you can get these a little bit cheaper and they come with nicer furniture. If you want a tactical lever gun and you've been looking for a tactical lever gun but just really
haven't wanted to spend the money, this may be for you, or it may not be. We'll really see how it performs today, and that's the purpose of the video. We want to get out here, test it, see how well it works, and you see how well these attachments work, right? This is an Amazon budget build. Is the light gonna loosen up? Is the sight gonna malfunction? I don't know, but that's what we're here to find out today. This is really my first impressions of this gun. I haven't shot it at all. From what I can tell, the action does feel pretty smooth. I'll probably will break it down and polish it and everything though. That's something I like to do on some of these like cheaper guns that may not have the best fit and finish. I mean, it really doesn't feel bad at all, don't get me wrong, but I think most guns could benefit from a nice polishing, and I do it on a lot of my guns, my handguns, the feed ramps, the rails. It really does make a difference in how smooth that action really does feel. This is a budget gun. We'll see how well it performs today. We're gonna put about 100 rounds of 357 through it, of 158 grain jacketed hollow point ammo, and we're gonna take some shots at the gong, we're gonna take some shots at the target, explode a couple 2 liters, and really just have some fun with it. Maybe we'll even try to run some drills with it and kind of compare it to something like an AR-15 or something like that. Obviously, it's not gonna be as fast, but the lever action does still hold its place in the modern gun era, in my opinion, because you can do a lot of different things with this gun. This can be a nice little survival rifle, especially if you're trying to get really quiet. You stick some 38 specials in here, they're like 750 feet per second. You stick a can on here, it is cartoon quiet. So this could really make something like a good little survival rifle. It could also be used as something like a hunting rifle if you're trying to hunt coyote, hogs, pest control around the farm. You could definitely use it for something like that, or even home defense. If you're in one of these states where you can't have a detachable 30 round magazine and you're limited to something like a bolt action, then a lever action would actually probably be better for you than something like a bolt action. You know, it's quicker, you can get more follow-up shots on target quicker, and you can really set these up to be like a tactical you know, style gun. So for home defense, put a flashlight on it, put a nice red dot and optic on it for, you know, close quarters. You can do that with a lever gun when a lot of times you can't do that as easy with a bolt action. So overall, this would definitely triumph something like a bolt action, and with a round like a 357 Magnum, you ain't got to worry about it not putting them down if you need to put something down, whether it be a big game animal or even for home defense if you have creepers from Minecraft that infiltrate your home. So I really do think that the lever action still has a place in modern society, even compared to something like a $500 or $600 AR-15. It's just different, and you know, you can definitely set these up to be more of like a survival rifle. With that being said, guys, we're gonna run it through its paces today. We're gonna run the Amazon stuff through its paces today, and we're gonna see if it holds up. And hopefully, for my case, I hope it really does, because I hope I didn't just waste my money. But that's the good part about these videos. We're gonna get out here, we're gonna get to shooting, and we're gonna enjoy this nice North Carolina weather we have today. All right, guys, you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit on this video, because I've only owned 1 or 2 lever actions before, and I don't have a lot of rounds through lever guns. So this is gonna be much different for me than something like when we bring ARs and stuff like that out here, which I have thousands of rounds through. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, we're gonna load this baby up with a couple rounds of 357 Magnum, and we're gonna get her sighted in. I generally like to try to zero my red dots at about 20-25 yards, because that seems where it lines up the closest at all distances. But let me know in the comments below what you guys usually zero your like micro dots and handgun optics and red dots at when you're trying to zero for like CQB, but also be able to hit around like 50 to 100 yards. All right, it's pretty easy to load. I only loaded about 4 or 5 rounds in there just to get her sighted in, but not hard at all. So let's chamber. Oh, damn, fly. Oh, it seems like it's having some issues. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna have to get used to it, but it definitely choked up a little bit there. First impressions, that's not ideal, but I've never used lever guns like that, so I'm probably short stroking it. Let's see. Is that even on the paper?
I think it hit the wood.
Yeah, that's definitely way off, because I know for a fact I pulled right in here, so it should be a little bit closer. So let's come left and then go up. All right, guys, I can just tell you straight up, that looks a lot closer, because before you definitely had to like search the dot a little bit, but that's like, now it looks like it's damn near center. So let's eject that round ejecto. Oh, yeah, it does seem, oh, there we go. Yeah, you do have to work it a little bit, guys, but I haven't shot this gun at all, so could be like a break-in thing too, but it is a little bit hard to chamber the next round.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it's a lot closer. All right, with ejecto cello. See here, they're kind of coming up, and then when you're rechambering, you just got to hit it just right. Yeah, we're right there, and I was swaying a little bit, so we're gonna bring it left and take one more shot. All right, third shot. Let's see where we're at. Cyelee SRS Chameleon.
Low.
Low. All right, I'm gonna bring it up.
Right there, just a little right.
Yep, just a little right, we're good. Just talking about the recoil real quick. If any of you guys have ever shot a 357 out of a rifle, you'll know it's really not that bad at all. The gun definitely has a little bit of a blast. I mean, it is a 357 Magnum, 35 caliber bullet that is smoking, but it's not bad at all. I think what I do want to do for this is I do want to get one of those muzzle brakes for this gun, because I think it will make it shoot super, super flat, just with all the powder that's in a 357 Magnum. But it's not bad at all. It's very similar to something like a 9mm out of a rifle, so not bad at all. You could probably have your girlfriend, your wife, or whoever shoot this gun as well, and they'll have a pretty good time. All right, so there we go. All right, I really do like this dot. It's super bright. So we do have the side saddle. What I will say about the side saddle is this is not going to be the side saddle you want if you're trying to do like super quick reloads, because this side saddle fits these bullets very tightly. So you have to kind of definitely like push them out of there. This middle one is really bad, but you have to kind of, you know, pull them out of there to get in there. But I mean, it's good for extra ammo, and that's basically what I'm using the side saddle for. I mean, I'm not going to be running this in competitions or anything, but I know some people out there like to do that, so this would probably not be for you. But if you're just looking for something to store some extra bullets on the side for backup ammo, it'll work just fine, because it's definitely, it's pretty tight, so you're not gonna have to worry about these shells flying off and you know, you losing them or whatnot.
Dead on.
Perfect.
Like slightly to the right.
All right, let's show the camera the group. So this is a zeroing it in, and this is free-handed, guys, so I'm not benching it or anything like that. But I mean, that's really close for red dot. That was the last shot there, but you know, we were definitely a little bit left. We brought it a little bit right again. Maybe we bring it just a slight bit over, maybe one click, but I know that's close enough to be able to be pretty accurate with it. So not bad at all. Once we get a bench out here, guys, and we get like a table and everything, we have plans to do that, then we'll start benching some rifles and really getting them real nice and accurate. Let's start shooting her a little bit, see if we can't run her fast. I don't know if it's gonna work. It seems like so far it's having a little bit of issues sometimes getting them in there, but I really want to get in there and just work it and see how fast we can run it. Ejecto cello, cuz. Oh, I don't want to eject it on myself though. Is that a problem? Like, if you eject it like that, aren't you just basically ejecting it like into the danger zone of a hot shell going into your shirt?
Yeah. Ain't nothing but a burn.
All right, shooting at the gong now. Let's see what this 357 Magnum does to this gong. I know it's going to hit probably pretty hard. So I don't know if it will hit harder than the short barrel 5.56 though. That's the crazy thing about 357 Magnum. When you put it into a rifle barrel, I mean, you're looking at about the same amount of kinetic energy as like a short barrel 5.56. Like, so, I mean, it's a pretty powerful round, even though it's, I guess you could say it's kind of like a handgun cartridge. Or I don't even know if you could say that. I mean, you can get revolvers.
It's an intermediate cartridge.
And maybe a Desert Eagle, but yeah.
And you fucking smoked 2 drinks.
We smoked the drinks, damn it. That ruined it. Well, I guess we gotta smoke the Sprite then.
We gotta go ahead.
Go ahead and do it, yep.
I'll zoom in on it.
All right, let's get the Sprite. You ready?
Yep. You could probably go ahead and hit the other ones, because I think the Sprite on the left, it just got a little flack.
All right, it just got a little flack. It's still surviving.
It's dead now.
I mean, this thing's accurate, dude. Even with this little Cyelee on here, and this thing's accurate. So what I will say so far, guys, just, you know, loading it and stuff, the one gripe I have about it is kind of hard to load. You're probably not going to be speed reloading this thing, because it's definitely a little bit difficult to reload. This gun is somewhat new though, so you know, it could break in over time, but that's definitely something that I noticed right out the gate, is it's not super easy to load. Not a big gripe, especially if this is just a range toy for you, but you know, just something I do have to point out. So far I do like how it feels as far as ergonomics. I really like the rail. I like that it's like one of these slimline rails. You can get your whole hand wrapped around that thing. What I will say though is you have to be careful, because this does not have a full Picatinny extension up here. So if you're shooting this thing back to back to back and getting that barrel real hot, make sure you don't stick your thumb there. That's probably a gripe I would have. Maybe some type of heat shield or whatnot, but at the price of this gun, you can't complain about things like that. You can put an aftermarket rail on this. You can put any Rossi 92 rail on this. So I think that's one of the biggest selling points, is you already have, you know, a good amount of aftermarket parts out there to set this thing up into a much nicer gun if you don't like the way it already is. And what I will say is, just not shooting a lot of lever actions, I instinctively want to come down and, you know, pull out, and the brass is in danger zone. So I don't know. I know that some of them are side ejecting. I think that makes more sense. Like, but I know it's usually the bigger caliber ones are side ejecting, but I think for ergonomics, that's probably going to be one of the best ones, because you can just come out here, yank the bullet out, and then do that, and it's going to eject out the side. However, this one, if you do that, the shell will come back and potentially get caught up in your shirt. So if you're a wimp, you definitely don't want this gun. It's going to burn. After that 357 Magnum's smoking. Split
And
it. See if I can hit it wise. Oh, I think I just missed it. Oh, see, there's where it kind of hangs up a little bit.
And we smoked Dr. Thunder. I think it...
Did it hit it?
I thought either that or to the left.
All right, let's take a shot at the target. Let's take a shot at the head. Oh, I pulled that. Fuck.
It's at the neck.
Yeah, I pulled it. I felt it. It's all good. Oh, we got one more round. Dang, this thing does really have a pretty good round count in it. I'm like thinking I'm out already. Just swaying a lot. My shoulders hurt.
We did have a shoulder day yesterday.
Yeah, we did. We hit shoulders pretty hard. I pulled both of those headshots. Well, we smoked the Dr. Thunder.
Its insides are laying out
a few times. We'll probably have to tie that back up. But I mean, guys, this gun does feel pretty fun to shoot. So if you're looking for a range toy, something like this is perfect. Or, you know, if you're hunting or whatnot, you could definitely set something like this up. Depending on how far you're going to be, you could even put a scope on something like this, a little LPVO, and, you know, really reach out with it. But I've just got a red dot on here, and so far the mount hasn't loosened up, but we haven't put that many rounds through it, but it's still holding in there. And the Cyelee seems somewhat zeroed, so let's keep putting rounds through it, keep pumping it out, and see if it lasts. I think we should probably beat it with something though. I don't want to do it, but we got to at least do some type of test. See if it will hold up. Okay, we're gonna do a drill. So I'm gonna take 3 shots, 1 head, 1 gong, 1 head, and I'm gonna try to run it as fast as I can. I think the downside to maybe some of these cheaper lever actions may be definitely the smoothest of the action. Hopefully it doesn't choke up, but maybe I'm doing something wrong, guys. You guys let me know, or maybe I'll even figure it out before the end of the video. But you know, just getting them in there sometimes, it does get a little bit caught up on that feed ramp. So do just want to be transparent about that. But let's see. We're gonna try to run it fast and see what happens. I have no practice whatsoever with lever guns, so I'm gonna absolutely suck. But practice makes perfect.
The shooter understand the course of fire.
Yes, sir.
Stand by. .26 seconds.
Okay. It's not terrible. I definitely got a little bit of a hang up on that second one, but I think we're working her in.
Yeah.
I think we're working her in.
Because after that, it seemed like it ran pretty smooth.
So, I mean, that's pretty accurate. I mean, that was the first headshot. Obviously, we hit the gong, and then that's the second headshot right there.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not super quick, but effective? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to put somebody down.
You'd probably be okay in that situation. So, you know, if you were shooting at immobilized targets.
Shooter ready.
Yep.
Stand by.
come on. I mean, accurate. Not very quick.
Slower than 8 seconds.
Hold on, one last headshot. I always wanted to be a cowboy. Should have put on my cowboy boots.
As you said, watch out for brass. I just got hit in the neck.
Yeah, cameraman is in the danger zone all the time. He does it for you guys though. So you gotta like and subscribe. Okay, yeah, pretty good. We took out the 2 liters. I mean, it's not super fast, but I'm gonna attribute a lot of that to just the action. I mean, this thing is oiled up. I think it just needs to break in a little bit, and I mean that's fine. Like I said, it's a cheaper lever gun, and it still does its purpose, especially if you're hunting with this, or you're trying to take it as a survival rifle. But I will say that trying to run it super fast is a little bit hard. But it could just be the ammunition I have too. I am using cheap ammunition, cheap hollow points. So I would not be surprised if it's the ammunition I'm using as well. But we will bring this thing back out. This is not going to be the only video, guys. You guys got to admit, this thing's pretty cool. I mean, so far, I really like this build. I think it's going to be super fun. And, I really like it. I don't know. We got to see what the cameraman thinks, though. So I'm going to give it to cameraman and kind of get his first impressions on this. I think this may be his first time shooting a lever gun other than one that's in 22 long rifle. So, all right, cameraman, what do you think so far about just the build?
Overall,
do you think it's a poverty pony?
I think it's a good build. I like it with the optic mount. Like pulling it up and aiming, it's already right there at your eye. You don't really have to fight, look for it. The flashlight, we know the flashlight's going to do its job.
Risers are the way.
They are. I mean, no matter what people say, you don't need a riser. It's going to help you a lot. Get it right up to your eye. And if you do have nods, you're going to be able to passively aim through them.
Yeah, that's the 2 things about risers, right? Like, one, if you have night vision, any type of night vision, you want to shoot under it, it's probably best to have a riser. And then 2, if you're doing anything where you need quick target acquisition, a riser always helps.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help you get better shots on target, too. I guess I got one more. Fuck it, let's see if I can hit it. Hell yeah.
It's like the gift that keeps giving. You think you're out and you got like 1 or 2
Yeah,
more.
I thought I was out already. I love it. It's really nice.
It shoots nice, but the action's a little bit.
After like shooting it, it was actually pretty smooth.
But it hung up a little bit.
I could see it hangs up, but I will admit that's probably the hardest thing about it, is that's the only thing I could really nitpick on.
All right, guys, I'm gonna see how fast I can unload this gun. So I loaded 6 rounds up in this gun. We're gonna do the timer. We'll hear the beep, and then I'm gonna unload as fast as I can at that target center mass and just see. I mean, we know this is obviously not gonna stack up against something like a semi-automatic rifle or something like that. However, how fast can you really unload it, especially as like a newbie, somebody who doesn't have training on lever action or whatnot? How fast can you actually maneuver the firearm when you're trying to shoot fast? So let's see. We're going to shoot them all center mass, and let's see how accurate they are. We're going to have a lot of people who shoot lever guns all the time, like, hate me after this video. But I do want to say real quick, I think part of the issue, before you guys all swarm in the comments and say, is we are using hollow points. So that could be the reason it gets caught up on the feed ramp sometimes. So I will bring it back out here one day and just use some full metal jacket, and I think it will maneuver a lot better.
Stand by.
That was a little bit rough.
Like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. I mean, that's not so bad. I mean, it really depends on the predicament you find yourself in, right? Like, if you're shooting at one target, whether it's game or whatever it is, I mean, the first 357 put in the right place is going to do its job, which is the point. I mean, these are not made to be super fast, but, that's still not bad. I mean, it's much faster. You could probably do it with a bolt action, but I don't know. I want to see if I can improve on the time a little bit. I definitely think using the hollow points are part of the problem, but you would probably want to use hollow points for something like a home defense rifle or something like that. I mean, it was accurate though for the most part. We stepped up a little bit closer, so we're going to be a little bit low now with that riser, but I mean, it's not terrible. So let's mark them, and then I'm going to do it one more time. Run it one more time.
Stand by.
That was actually 5 shots though that time.
That was about the same.
About the same. Yeah, I mean it gets stuck.
Yeah, I see.
It
It gets stuck on like the casing.
Definitely probably not something you would want to fight with if you're, you know, in a very stressful situation. But for something like hunting or, you know, around the house, pest control, things like that, I mean, I think that's a pretty, you know, steady speed, especially when you consider most people go hunting with like a bolt action rifle, right? Like this is going to be faster than a bolt action, but obviously you're not going to be able to outrun your semi-automatic firearms. But definitely has its place and its purpose. Definitely a fun gun to shoot, especially the fact that you're shooting a pretty powerful round that has, you know, not that much recoil. It's very insignificant, so I will say that. So far, the M-LOK mount's actually holding up. And this does jolt a little bit, guys. It does jolt a little bit. It definitely has more recoil than like an AR-15. The Cyelee seems good so far. I mean, I really like this sight. But I think we're gonna have to beat it up a little bit.
We got to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Get it on my handgun.
If we don't do it, the people are gonna be upset. They're gonna be like, "You didn't test it. Does it last?" So it looks like we're gonna have to beat it up a little bit. Cyelee, look, this damages. You guys owe me a new one. There's supposed to be a warranty on these things. I'm just more. I guess I'm a little bit more worried about the mount. But I'm gonna sit here and kind of beat it a little bit. See if we can't knock it off 0. Beating it right on the glass. I don't know. But all right, beat the Cyelee up a little bit. All right, beat it a little bit with a mag. I mean, this is not crazy, guys. It's nothing crazy, but you know, you at least want to make sure it can hold up a little bit of a beating and not have any type of issues. Oh, there goes the phone. All right, let's shoot it again. See where she's at. Oh shit, I'm having a feeding problem. Ooh. Hot shell, hot shell, hot shell. Hot shell to the neck. Hot shell coming out. Damn. Oh, we got another one. The gift that keeps on giving.
And we're out.
I mean, that's pretty fun, man. Like, it's pretty fun.
It's pretty accurate too.
Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit more recoil than obviously like a 5.56, like I said. But nothing that's gonna like bruise your shoulder or anything like that. And if it does, you probably need to go to the gym. Now, guys, we're gonna run some drills with it real quick. We're gonna do a 3-shot drill from 3 different positions. We're running a couple. I'll let you pick positions and I'll pick positions. How about that? So for me, my 3 positions for our drill, the first drill, start here, up, shot at the gong, boom, run. Run back to the 25-yard line. Back here, boom, shot at the gong, and then running way back here, boom, shot at the gong.
All right, shooter ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. Three for 3.
3 for 3.
Good shit.
Shooter ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
I'm gonna go right up there to the ammo can. Then we're gonna run to right about here afterwards. Then we're gonna run straight to 25.
All right, so about 10, 15, 25.
Yeah, essentially. And we gotta do it as quick as we can.
Okay. I live by that motto, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I'm slow at doing a lot of things, so I need some type of excuse. But today is not the day I'm gonna be the slower one.
Stand by.
thing is accurate, guys. I really like it. Like, especially now, like you see, I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I've noticed with these hollow points a little bit, it's like basically how you tilt the gun. If you tilt the gun the wrong way, then it's gonna kind of nosedive that bullet. So as long as you tilt the gun the right way while you're trying to eject and run, I mean, you could do drills with this thing fairly easy. Yeah. Especially with this optic, guys. I really like this Cyelee. I mean, I've never had an SRO, but I've had a lot of different like RMRs and other, you know, used a lot of other Trichcon's optics and stuff like that. But I really like this dot. The 8 MOA dot helps a tremendous amount. You know, just coming up and trying to find that dot. Like, it's right there. I mean, it's pretty big. You can see it. It's super bright out here today. The sun's literally shining in my eyes, shining on the optic, and I can still see that dot. This dot's super bright, super big. It seems like it's holding 0. If you haven't had any issues, we'll test the accuracy one more time before the end of the video. But, I mean, it still seems like it's holding 0, and it's super quick. You can get a sight picture super quick. It's a big window on that thing. So, if you're looking for something like competition use, maybe it's a little bit too big for duty, depending on who you are. Some people like, you know, to run the big sights on their duty weapons. The Cyelee might be an option for you if you're on a budget, because they really do work. They're built tough. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, guys. I've just used them, and, you know, they've worked. And I really do like to see budget options on the market that actually work and hold 0, and they work well. So, yeah, the light hasn't loosened up either. So now, cameraman, it's your turn to redeem yourself. Get ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Hell yeah.
That's a little bit slow though, bro. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, so before the last one, the last round where it took me so long is I had it slightly like this, and I couldn't get it in because it was hitting that chamber right there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of some feeding issues that you have to kind of work out with this gun for sure, I would say. It's a little bit rough around the edges in some aspects, but overall it does its job. All right, so I said I would do an accuracy test before we conclude. So I gotta make sure the Cyelee held 0 after the beating. Guys, spoiler, it's gonna hold 0. These are pretty solid optics. Well,
we shot a tree down.
We took a tree down. So if you had any questions
on the stopping power
of a 357 Magnum, you can literally chop down trees with this gun. That's how tight our grouping is here. I mean, dude, my grouping was tight enough to chop down a tree. So
I saw the tree go, I was like, oh my God.
I just literally chopped down the tree with a
just 357. Fall.
I was aiming here. It seems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, right there. I mean, that's a little bit spread out. I was freehanding it.
That's still pretty good though.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad.
I mean, you got to think from 25 yards as far as you're shooting.
I could do better, but dude, it's been a long day. And I chopped down a tree, so I don't want to hear it until you guys have chopped down a tree with a 357 Magnum.
And we'll show you the tree. Hold on.
Yeah, look, there's a tree right there.
And that tree just fell.
All right, guys, let's close it out. So just to close this one out, the Citadel LevTac 92. I think we can all say that she's definitely a bit rough around the edges. You know, loading it's a little bit difficult, but, you know, definitely manageable. You can definitely, you know, get it in there. You're probably not going to be speed loading this thing or anything like that. But, you know, it's definitely a little bit rough with the action sometimes, especially because we're using hollow points. But in my opinion, that's not a super huge deal because the gun runs as it should. I mean, lever actions generally are a lot harder to work if you've never worked them before and are a little bit pickier on ammo. So, you know, that's to be expected, especially at this price point. But overall, she did what she was supposed to do, guys. And definitely is faster than something like a bolt action if you're in one of these states where you cannot get a gun with a detachable magazine and you need something for home defense or whatever the case may be, then something like this would definitely suffice. I think for what you're paying for this gun, it's definitely a really good deal. and there's no super bad catastrophic issues with it. The rail didn't loosen up. The optic is still solid. The optic is still zeroed. The flashlight didn't loosen up or anything like that. But this is just the first, you know, kind of 100 rounds through the firearm. So nothing crazy, but the stuff did hold up. We did beat up the Cyelee a little bit, but overall, guys, I'm super happy with this build. This is a crazy, cool little gun, especially when you set it up like this for under 300 bucks for the attachment. You get a nice flashlight that's gonna work well for pretty much any purpose, a nice optic, kind of like a competition style optic for that quick target acquisition, works very well during bright days like today, and you get the side saddle. Side saddle works well, didn't have any problems with it loosening or any shells flying out or anything like that. But what do you expect? These few things are really easy to manufacture nowadays. The technology has come so far that you can get things like this for a pretty good price nowadays, and I think that's pretty good for the budget-minded individual. Overall, it's accurate, it's affordable, it does what it really is supposed to do. I mean, I definitely think it leaves a little bit to be desired just as a lever gun. Like if I had to redo it over again, I would probably go for one that's side ejecting. Now that I've used a top loading one, I'd probably go for a side loader. I think that makes more sense if you're looking for one of these more tactical designs that you may be maneuvering around with the firearm, because that ejection pattern definitely is a little bit weird. If you're right-handed like I am and you're coming off the gun to stroke it, essentially, you know, you're gonna have that brass fly right back into your chest. So I do think, you know, it does leave a few things to be desired, but at the price point, you really can't complain. You're looking for something to play with at the range, survival rifle, or even home defense in some of those states out there where you guys can't have your AR-15s or anything like that, then maybe this is something suitable for you. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't want to rely my life on this just because it is a little bit hard to work. And I just can't imagine in a stressful situation working this lever and jamming a bullet up in there or something like that. It's just something that I probably wouldn't want to deal with if I'm in a life or death situation. But for most cases, this will probably be just fine. But I mean, it works. Overall, for the price point, I'm not upset with it whatsoever. Because it fires, it does what it's supposed to do. I just got to get used to working it and making sure I'm running the right ammunition through it. But overall, it was pretty fun. It was a blast. I think we both had a blast out here shooting it. More to come on this gun. We'll definitely bring out some more. We'll have some range days coming up here soon where we're literally just competing with one another in drills and stuff like that. So stay tuned, guys. We got more Amazon videos coming later this month. We're going to do another Amazon tactical haul, and it is going to be a big one. So if you like these budget-oriented videos, you like budget-oriented content, and you're just looking for someone to give you, you know, the real review on some of these budget items, then subscribe, like, comment, and follow the channel, because we're definitely going to have more for you guys, because I'm one of these guys who likes to find the cheap options that actually work. I don't like to put junk on my guns. I like something that's going to serve my purpose. And something like this, you know, very, very cheap, inexpensive, but you can use this for a lot of different things. And the items that we have put on here, even though they're cheap, you know, they'll work for most cases. There are a lot of garbage out there as well. There's a lot of garbage on Amazon. There's a lot of garbage on a lot of these different websites. So you gotta be mindful. Read the reviews, read other people's experiences, watch YouTube videos, and do your research before you buy anything. But that's why I'm here. I want to give you guys some knowledge on some of this stuff. So let me know what you guys think about this build down below and what you want to see next with the tactical lever gun. So without further ado, guys, I appreciate you guys coming out to this video. If you're interested in any of these items on this firearm, please check the pinned comments below. You can find some links there that may lead you to where you can look at these items and look at the specifications. I will see you guys next time, and I'm out. Peace.